up, you guys? This is Rob from McGayGuyPlays, and today I am sick like no other. Literally, snot was running down my face about 5 minutes ago. Not the greatest visual for you guys, but I am bringing you guys a bit of a snapshot as well as a dress to kill mixed in. Now, I know you guys have been waiting so long for the Mesa Prime customization, so I've got a little bit of that for you guys today. We'll go ahead and talk about the different armors and Sandanas that I feel work for her. We'll go ahead and swap out some skins, but before we go ahead and do that, I'm gonna go ahead and show off my finished build for Mesa Prime as well as the new addition of Magnum Force. So without ado, let's get dressed and also shoot things at the same time. Alrighty, so as you can see here, we have a smattering of hard-hitting targets all set to level 160, and invincibility, of course, is turned off. Now, let's go ahead and toss on Mesa's boofs, and the first thing that we're gonna do is not kill these nullifiers. I'm actually gonna go hang around over here, just keeping the nullifier bubbles down, so that you can see how it looks like when you're being shot by nullifiers, and not getting debuffed by them. That's big. I'm actually gonna go ahead and make some rounds. I'm gonna run around saying hi to people, and I'm gonna be like, hi, shoot at me, so that I can show you guys exactly how survivable this build is, because it's a big deal. We gotta show that it doesn't just work on specific targets, that it is a thing that you can use on basically any target. And of course, we're gonna chalk that up to the combination of adaptation and shatter shield, and also me keeping an eye on my buff timers, because one of the things that, let's be real, this is not my first take, and it's because I keep forgetting to put the buffs back up. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna run over to this corner, I'm gonna toss the buffs up, because when the buffs go down, Mesa goes down. So keep that in mind. Now, with that shown off, let's go ahead and show her offensive prowess, because we did just recently get that buff to Magnum Force. Magnum Lethal Listen, I don't remember the names of these things, but you know, I covered it in the video yesterday. And actually, I'll be honest with you, thanks somebody in the comments who was like, you missed your opportunity to show this off with Mesa's Peacemaker. And I was like, you know what? You're right. I should probably also get on her dress to kill. So you can thank them for the inspo for this video. Thank you for reminding me. I do very much appreciate it. Look at her little ponytail just flying as she's taking out enemies. Now, one of the things that I do have to mention here, as you can see, one of the things that I do love about this build, ooh, the buff went down for a second, is the fact that I'm running Hunter's Munitions and Arcane Grace on this. So what this does is it helps keep her fueled. Both in her energy and in her health. So as she's losing health, she's gaining energy, then Arcane Grace triggers, and then it goes ahead and gives her more. So I think we're all set on that. You guys have already seen the demonstration now. Let's go ahead and take a look at the build. If you guys have been around for a while, you've probably already seen this build, but there's really no but to it. It's just you've seen this build. It's the adaptation variant of the original build that I did have. I've also got growing power in there, mainly because of the fact that I am lazy. So it's not for anything specific. Usually I would have tossed in a corrosive projection or something else along those lines in that slot. Really, whatever you want to put in the aura slot, it's really not a big deal. If you want some more offensive prowess, go for growing power. But, you know, do your thing there. Everything else for me is pretty much set in stone. Now, if you have any other recommendations, I highly suggest you keep them to yourself, because I'm happy with my build. I didn't ask. Thank you. Let's go ahead and move on to her regulators. Same disclaimer goes for that one. This is what I'm currently running. So as you can see, it's a crit and status build. We do have it running with corrosive because we are taking on armored targets. It does have a 50% chance to trigger status, which means you can strip off a lot of armor very quickly. And instead of running our normal auger pact, we've got Magnum Force in there, and it says the accuracy is 15.4, which even for a normal weapon, 15.4 is not that bad for a normal weapon, but it doesn't really seem to affect her Peacemaker in any way, shape, or form, because it's basically just auto-targeting everything. You know what I mean? Now, moving along into the fashion, I do have two separate looks for you guys, and as you guys are fully aware, I am not feeling the greatest today, so I'm just gonna go ahead and leave the color codes down in the description box below, but that doesn't mean that we can't have a little bit of a chat about my inspo for each of these, as well as the different armor pieces and SANDRs that I've gone ahead and put on them. So as you can see, this is the iconic rose gold look that I tend to have for most frames. This is actually the one that I've been using a whole lot. I didn't really want to cover it, mainly because of the fact that I'm like, it's the same look I show y'all each time, except this time I wanted to go ahead and incorporate some browns to kind of really embrace that leather cowgirl look. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the armors real quick. I do have a couple armors that I like on this, but not very many. I feel like Mesa Prime, just even on her own, is just a great look. I feel like sometimes putting on armors can actually detract away from it, but I did just for this very purpose. So as you can see, Ito Prime looks absolutely fantastic on pretty much everything that you put it on. The other piece of armor that I really did enjoy on this, of course, is the Atavist. I really like the Atavist shoulders and legs, but I do not like the Atavist chest on her. Now, the reason why is because Mesa's got some boobage going on, and sometimes that doesn't always attach appropriately. Let's see if I can show you guys here. It has this weird dip here, and it's little things like that that kind of put me off when armor placement is, but they couldn't place it any higher, otherwise it would clip into her collar. So that's why I kind of like the Ito chest plate. It's very simple, minimalistic, and you can see the sigils underneath it. So that is definitely the two prime ones that I really do quite enjoy on it. I'm gonna do a quick test just a second, because this one, I would even say, because I like how these the ribbing goes with the Imugi Prime, it almost kind of lines up with each of the canisters. The shoulder pieces of that I don't mind, and I do believe that I did like the feetsies on her as well, if we take a look at the Imugi ones. So for Prime ones, those are definitely going to be the ones I would suggest. Listen, I didn't try this yet, but she got spurs. She got spurs too. You could add the spurs, but I think that's a little too much. I feel like it's spurs on spurs on spurs on spurs. Oh, there's the booty. I know you guys were wondering about that. But while we've got her turned around, that sounds wrong. I also wanted to go over some of the SANDR choices that I had for her. I have very few. It's because of the fact that she is very drapey. She's got this fabric here, this fabric here. She's got the, what do you call this? The bandana thing that she's got going on, as well as her chaps. I don't like very many drapey, or any drapey SANDRs on her, if I'm gonna be completely honest. I love the Bennu SANDR on her. I also really like, of course, the Officium, and then the only SANDR that I really would sign off, aside from those two, is going to be, where are you? The Tenno SANDR. Really love that one for these kind of frames. I also, like I was saying earlier, kind of like these bands. They kind of feel like they fit the theme, especially when paired up with the Ito SANDR. So that is the first look. If I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm probably gonna strip it down and take off the Ito armor, but I wanted to show it to you with that. I'll also go ahead and take a look real quick, the first look with the Mesa Prime Montesa helmet, so you can see it's pared down a little bit more, just in case you wanted a bit of a more subtle look. I don't, but we could go ahead and move on to the next. So the next look that we have over here, as you guys know, I like to kind of switch things up. I like to make things dark and light. So I actually went ahead and changed the primary into a dark color. So it's kind of like this deep burgundy shade. And I've gone ahead and mixed it with kind of like a grayish blue, a really deep grayish blue. Oh, I need to change these regulators too. We got to make sure that that goes along with it. So as you can see right here, we are embracing a rose metallic, which I'm a very big fan of. And I've tossed on the Tenno armor set on her. I really liked the way that this looked on, I believe it was the other Mesa customization. It's been so long since I've played around with them, so I really liked it on that, so I thought that I would carry it through here, and I feel like it looks great, except for the clipping on the leg bits. You can leave that off if the clipping really bothers you that much. It does not bother me that much at all, and of course we are rocking the Officium. I just feel like it works perfectly on these frames that have a lot of fabrics going on with them. The one thing I do want to point out though, I'm really a big fan of this, is I love layering, not laying. Wow, this has just turned into a really sexy time. Layering the Rift Walker Prime sigil underneath other chest armor, so you just get a little peek of it. Sometimes it doesn't look as great just as a standalone. I mean, it does. It can look great as a standalone, but sometimes it can kind of be a little bit on the side of, wait, I know that that's not a 3D thing. You know what I mean? You're like, I know that's not a 3D thing, but if you layer it underneath something else, that can kind of give it more of a 3D layered effect. As you can see, on its own, I still think it looks really good, but when you do have it layered, it's kind of like, ooh, there's like another magical thing underneath. So be sure to play around with that if you have the sigil. Plus, I like the circularness that goes along with it, and then the circularness of the Officium Syndana. They kind of play off of each other very well. Again, if you guys are curious at all, definitely check down in the description box below for all of the color codes. But what we're gonna do real quick is, because I know some people are always curious about these things, I'm gonna go ahead and take all of the attachments off, and then we're gonna go ahead and play around with how the different skins look with this. So let us begin. Let's start with the different helmets that we've got going on. Mesa Prime helmet, of course, looks great. We've got the Mesa Falcon helmet. Unfortunately, the face part is kind of tied to a metallic, so it doesn't work as well. Still a great helmet on the standard Mesas though. Mesa Grax helmet, I'm not as much of a fan. I'm really sad because I do love the Mesa Grax skin, but I feel like the textures are a little too off. Mesa helmet looks nutso. Mesa Longhorn helmet looks nutso. Mesa Marlet is not bad. Mesa Marlet is not bad. It's got some of the metallics. Its metallics are not as shiny though, which does make me a bit sad. And then we've got the Mesa Ovis. At least personally, I don't think it works. The Mesa Presidio, it's, what do you call this? Its color mapping is very off, so I don't personally think it fits. And then of course the Montesa helmet. Let's go ahead and toss the Prime helmet back on, and then let's take a look at how these skins work with it. That looks very strange, but let's take a look at how the Prime details look with it. It doesn't look bad. It actually looks like a cleaner version of itself. I'm not pro, but I'm also not anti, because look at these weird buckles are just kind of there with no straps to hold it in. So maybe not the greatest, but let's go ahead and take a look at the next one, the Marlet. I feel like there's a invisible T in there. Again, we have the buckles coming in, and there's no straps for like the buckles to attach to, but they kind of fit. I'm gonna say that it kind of works, not necessarily my favorite for it. And then let's go ahead and toss on this. How is this, like, it looks weird. Like her face her head just does not, I think it's maybe because of the fact that she's missing the collar underneath her chin, that it just does not quite look right. It looks a little bit better with the Montesa, but still not my favorite. So let's go ahead and move from the Presidio skin into the standard Mesa skin, which is gonna look weird, and we can't toggle on Prime details with that. So as always, I like the Mesa Prime skin best, or the Mesa Prime helmet best paired with the Mesa Prime skin. That's just how it goes for me. So hopefully that gave you guys some insights on the way that I like to fashion frame Miss Mesa Prime in both of her different looks. Hopefully that gave you guys a little bit of inspiration and a little build to work along with it. Regardless, I am going to go crawl, I'm gonna go wash my face. I need to wash my face. And then I'm gonna crawl back into bed and try to get better before tomorrow, because we have an Anthem demo that we need to play. I'm gonna be an Interceptor main. Regardless, I will see you guys then. So as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch yo cowboy. Or cowgirl. Like, listen, this is 2019. Whatever the fuck you wanna do. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.